It's Tuesday, February the 14th, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Top in the news at this hour, the board of the Central Bank of Barbados is to meet today following a court injunction that bars the government from removing the governor, Dr. Delisle Worrell. Now, the order was issued on Sunday by the High Court Judge Justice Randall Worrell after the governor was ordered by the Finance Minister, Chris Sinclair, to resign by yesterday or be fired. However, the minister is currently the one on the back foot. Justice Worrell has given him until tomorrow to provide him with satisfactory reason why he wants to see the back of the governor. In the meantime, the governor's attorney, Gregory Nichols, is contending that there is absolutely no reason why his client should step down. In fact, he says if anyone is to blame for the economic situation that Barbados is in at the moment, it's Sinclair and not the governor.
But that's not his fault. The governor is not responsible for the economic situation. The economic policy in Barbados is designed by the Minister of Finance and the government. If that policy fails, it can't be the person who is supposed to be the watchdog and the monitor of economic activity and to provide independent advice.
However, in the defense of the plan to get rid of Worrell, sources within the bank tell Barbados Today the situation is very tense, even while they highlighted the recent firing of the human resources manager as the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. In other news now, the National Union of Public Workers issues its newest ultimatum to the government. The union has given the Freundel Stewart administration just over 2 weeks to return to the bargaining table or face their wrath. Temporary government workers met with the NUPW for about 2 hours yesterday, where the demand for a pay rise and several other issues were discussed. The union's General Secretary, Rosalind Smith, said public servants are tired of waiting for the resumption of negotiations for increases in salaries and wages, and they would take industrial action if they did not get a satisfactory response by the end of this month.
We are looking forward to a reasonable response. I believe that we should have had something as early as January. However, we were told that there was no mandate as yet, and I understand that the Prime Minister will be out of the island, so I'm hoping that on his return, the union would be given a mandate. So I believe that if there is no response between now and the end of February, we will know exactly going forward what the applause would have been about.
Smith also dismissed recent statements made by former Prime Minister Owen Arthur that now was not the time for a pay hike. She insists the demands for an increase were justified.
They would have built or propped the economy over the last 5 years. The government, they're restoring their 10%. It is not a salaries and wage agreement, but at least when they restore their 10%, they have 10% more to spend. Public officers do not have 1% as yet. So it would be unreasonable to say that the public officers do not deserve salaries and wages settlement.
Opposition leader Mia Mottley does not appear to be bothered by the emergence of the new political parties ahead of the next general election, constitutionally due next year. The United Progressive Party was the latest party to come on the scene last week, following on the heels of Barbados Integrity Movement and Solutions for Barbados. Motley told reporters the BLP is focused on addressing the issues affecting Barbadians in the run-up to the poll.
It's not for me to pontificate or to have, I think it is for me, however, to tell this country why we feel that yet again, as we did in the 1950s, as we did in 1976, as we did in 1994, that on each occasion the people have given the Barbados Labour Party their confidence to govern this country. We have changed people's lives substantially. And I can carry you through. In fact, perhaps you might want to go with us street by street and begin to see the houses that were fixed, The tenantries that where people now own their land, the urban tenantries that they would never have owned their land before 1996, where they bought land at $2.50 per square foot. We can carry you and show you the schools that we've done. We can carry you and show you the concrete paths in San Domingo Alley and things that Billy and others did when we were in the government. We can carry you and show you substantive things. I defy you to carry me and show me anything other than the grotto that was closed up for 2 years, and Valerie, which has its own problems now in relation to cracks and things, even though it is less than 2 years old. I defy you to show me things that have helped ordinary Bajans.
An internal investigation is underway in the Royal Barbados Police Force over allegations made by a female English visitor. The woman, speaking to a British newspaper, alleges she was attacked and almost raped while in the country, and she was met with complete indifference by the police when she reported the incident. Police Public Relations Officer Acting Inspector Roland Cobbler says more information on the matter will be released following the investigations.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's the celebration of agriculture, 50 years and beyond. Come and experience this year's AgroFest exhibition at the historic Queen's Park on February 24th to 26th. Don't miss the African Heritage Month celebrations, the AgroFest Special Edition, an impressive display of leather products made from Barbados' black belly sheep, the best of crop over 2016, and much more. AgroFest 2017. Tickets available at all official box offices.
Get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's Bear Steel News. I don't read about that on Barbados today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20. Who?
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region now, Venezuela's vice president has been added to a U.S. narcotics sanctions list. The U.S. accuses the vice president of playing a significant role in international narcotics trafficking. A U.S. Treasury statement says he facilitated huge shipments of narcotics from Venezuela by air and sea and protected other drug traffickers. There was no immediate response by the vice president, who was appointed last month by President Nicolas Maduro. But they previously denied any criminal ties. The sanctions freeze the vice president's assets in the U.S. and bar him from entering the country. On the international scene, the United States cannot let the wrong people in. This was President Donald Trump's unapologetic defense of his travel ban during a joint news conference Monday with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And while Trudeau made clear that he holds a different view on the issue of refugees, he said it was not his place to lecture the U.S. on the controversial policy.
You can never be totally confident, but through the incredible efforts already, I see it happening, of formerly General Kelly, now Secretary Kelly, we have really done a great job. We're actually taking people that are criminals, very, very hardened criminals in some cases, with a tremendous track record of abuse and problems, and we're getting them out. And that's what I said I would do. And I said at the beginning, we are going to get the bad ones, the really bad ones. We're getting them out, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Keeping Canadians safe is one of the fundamental responsibilities of any government, and that's certainly something that we're very much focused on. At the same time, we continue to pursue our policies of openness towards immigration and refugees without compromising security.
And finally, this story. Valentine's Day will not be celebrated in Pakistan. The Islamabad High Court Monday imposed a ban on the celebrations, which went into effect immediately. The order prohibits the display of advertisements on electronic and print media, as well as bans on the sale of merchandise associated with the event. The order also states that the day cannot be celebrated in any public space or government building. The court's order came after a citizen submitted a petition claiming that the ongoing promotions of the day were against the teachings of Islam. That's news, and there's more on our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates and like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media and bus terminals and Screenplay and supermarkets and gas stations near you. Or you can tune in to Channel 99 on Flow TV or Mix 96.9 FM for more news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Good morning.